members, I welcome you back to our online lessons. I hope you're all fine. I hope you kept safe. And I hope you have not touched your main. That is your mouth, your ears, and your eyes. Last time we were talking about the present simple tense, and up to now I'm still talking about the present simple tense. But this time we are going to talk about forming affirmative, interrogative, and negative sentences in the simple present tense. So as we learn, I expect you to get your books, put them in one, get a book, get a pencil, get a pen, sit in one place. And I request you to sit in a place which is free from distractions. Make sure that you're seated in a quiet place, you're seated at a desk, so that or a table so that you have where to write from. I expect active participation, and whenever I tell you to do something, to do an activity, you have to cooperate with me. By the end of this lesson, I expect you to be able to construct sentences in the affirmative using the simple present tense. I also expect you to form sentences in the interrogative form and in the negative form in the simple present tense. So let's get ready and we begin our lesson. Pen on the book and a pencil, and you sit at a table in a quiet place. When we talk about the affirmative sentences, we can also call them positive sentences. These are sentences which agree. Sentences which agree. For example, you can say, I always speak the truth. I always speak the truth. Cats eat rats. Cats eat rats. Journalists collect news from different areas. I walk to school every day. All those sentences are in affirmative, or what we call the positive. When we go for interrogative sentences, these are sentences which ask questions. For example, when I say, do you like mangoes? Do you like mangoes? That is a question. So another name for interrogative form is question form. When I say change it to interrogative and meaning, form a question in the simple present tense. Do cartoonists draw nice cartoons? Do cartoonists draw nice cartoons? So here, we are going to use the helping verb. The helping verb, do. If the sentence has a subject, if it is a singular subject, if it is plural subject, boys, girls, men, women, cartoonists, journalists, correspondents, those are plural subjects. Or if we are talking about plural pronouns, we, they, you. Or if we are talking about the first person pronoun, I, there we are using do. For example, you can say, do they come to school every day? Now, when you use do to form interrogative sentences, we use the base form of the verb. For example, do cartoonists draw nice cartoons? We are using do as the helping verb, and draw. Draw is the base form of the verb. Does an editor work in a media house? Does an editor work in a media house? That is another question. Remember, I've told you that interrogative form is the question form. Now here we are using does as the helping verb. The helping verb is does. The main verb is work. So when we have singular subjects, with singular subjects, the helping verb is does. We use does as the helping verb, and then we use the main verb in the base form. For example, does an editor work in a media house? In that question, the helping verb is does, and the main verb is work. Work is the base form. With negative sentences, these are sentences that oppose, sentences that are against. And to form negative sentences, we use negative adverbs. For example, you can say not, we can say never, we can say barely, hardly, scarcely. Those verbs, those adverbs are adverbs that we use for negation, adverbs of negation to indicate negative. For example, a newspaper correspondent does not work in a radio station. A newspaper correspondent does not work in a radio station. We are using a helping verb, does. Why are we using does? Because we have a singular subject. So remember, if it is a singular subject, a cat, a dog, a monkey, a journalist, or a singular pronoun, he, she, it. The helping verb in the simple present tense we use does. And we are going to use the main verb in the base form. For example, a newspaper correspondent does not work in a radio station. Helping verb does. Adverb of negation, not. And the main verb, work. Magazines do not reach rural areas in time. Magazines do not reach rural areas in time. Again, we are using do. Why are we using do? Because we have a plural subject, magazines. Remember, as I have told you, when you have plural subjects, they can be plural nouns or plural pronouns or first person pronouns. We use do, and then we use the main verb in the base form. Magazines do not reach rural areas. Helping verb, do. Main verb, reach. So when I am forming sentence, or when we are forming sentences in the negative, the helping verbs we use are do and does. Depending on the subject, if it is a singular subject, we use does. If it is a plural subject, we use do. If it is first person like I, we also use do. And we said we are using words for negative like not, like never, any, hardly, scarcely, barely, and then we use the base form of the verbs. In interrogative sentences, we are going to use do and does. Then we are going to use the base form of the verbs. Remember that we are in the simple present tense. So as I was telling you, when we have singular subjects, he, she, it, the cat, the monkey, a cartoonist, an editor, there we are going to use the helping verb does. Then when we have plural subjects, they can be plural nouns or plural pronouns like you, we, they. Those are plural pronouns. Then we can have plural nouns like the editors, the journalists, the cartoonists, or the newspapers. There we are going to use do. Also, if you're talking about yourself, the first person pronoun I, we also use do. Sentences with singular subjects use does. Sentences with plural subjects use do. Don't forget that. If I ask you to construct sentences, singular sentences does, plural sentences do. Now, we are going to look at the pictures. We are going to form sentences in affirmative, in negative, and in interrogative about the pictures. For example, what does the woman in picture 1 do? What does the woman in picture 1 do? Affirmative. Affirmative, the woman weaves a basket. Affirmative, we say, the woman weaves a basket. Then in interrogative, we are going to say, does a woman weave a basket? Does a woman weave a basket? Then in negative, we are going to say, the woman does not weave a basket. The woman does not weave a basket. Then we go to picture 2. The child eats jackfruit. The child eats jackfruit. That is in affirmative, or what we said, positive. Then when we go for the negative, we are going to say, the child does not eat a jackfruit. The child does not eat a jackfruit. When we go for the interrogative, does the child eat a jackfruit? Does the child eat a jackfruit? That is in interrogative. Remember that interrogative sentences end with question marks, because another name for interrogative form is question form. We got picture 4. A snake bites people. A snake bites people in picture 3. Picture 3, a snake bites people. That is affirmative. Then when we go for negative, we are going to say, a snake does not bite people. And in interrogative, does a snake bite people? Then lastly, we go to picture 4. Picture 4. Does the man beat the drum? Does the man beat the drum? That is in interrogative. Then negative, the man does not beat the drum. The man does not beat the drum. That is in negative. Then when we go for affirmative, the man beats the drum. So you have to remember that in affirmative sentences, if the subject is singular in affirmative sentences, you're going to get the base form. You add s, es, or ies if it ends in r in y following a consonant. That's why weave changes to weaves in affirmative. That's why it changes to its. We are adding s because these are singular sentences. So don't forget that in affirmative sentence, on the base verb, we either add s, es, or ies. So let's look at examples of sentences. I like my job. I like my job. That sentence is in affirmative. Then interrogative. Do I like my job? Do I like my job? That is in interrogative. Negative. I don't like my job. I don't like my job. That is in negative. Then we can also form interrogative sentences in the negative. That is, you form a negative question. You form a negative question. Don't I like my job? Don't I like my job? That is a negative interrogative sentence. Okay, as we have been saying, when we are forming negative sentences, we use does not. Because we are in simple present tense. For example, Margaret does not speak good English. Margaret does not speak good English. That is negative. And we can also form negative questions by using beginning doesn't. Like, doesn't Margaret speak good English? Doesn't Margaret speak good English? So I'm going to put the activity on the Google Classroom. You're supposed to write that work. You're supposed to upload and send it to me. I mark, then I'll send you the answers. Till we meet again, I request you to stay safe. Don't move around. Stay at home. COVID is there. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your mouth, your eyes, and your ears. Wear masks wherever you go out for shopping. And till we meet again, bye-bye.